Those three things, I promise you, are keeping you stuck right now. When you begin to change those things, your life will begin to excel in ways you can't even imagine. In today's video, we are going to talk about the three things that are holding you back from living the best life that you possibly can. Like, I'm not even joking. We're going to go deep into these things and we're going to talk about the stuff that's really holding you back. The things that are pulling you away from your goals, your ambitions, and your dreams, and are preventing you from actually getting them done. 5, 9, 2011, I was sitting there overweight, stressed out, full of anxiety, trying to figure out where I wanted to go in my life, trying to figure out what I wanted to achieve in my life. And I really didn't have the answers that I was looking for. After researching those things, I came up with 3 things that were holding me back from living the best life possible. 3 things that I was doing every single day that were killing me, and I didn't even know it, because they were killing me slowly. They were killing me silently and just taking my life away from me without me really even realizing it. Number 1 was my food. I can't tell you how much your food is playing a role in how depressed that you feel. I'm not even joking. I'm dead serious. You know, when I started looking into nutrition, and I'm talking about looking deep into nutrition, what was inside of the food, how was it grown, what are the things that they're placing into it at the chemistry lab, how are they making this taste so good, how much sodium does it have in it, how many carbohydrates, what are those carbohydrates made of, are they refined, what kind of seed oils, like all the way deep down into nutrition. I discovered the more processed something is, the more depression it could bring on. The more ingredients that it has, the more stress that you can feel, the more weight that you end up carrying, the more acid that it causes in your body, and it just messes you up. You see, the standard American diet, the diet that we all have and enjoy and we hate but we love at the same time, is a diet filled with box canned and bag foods that are just highly processed, that are just terrible. Hell, even some of the quote unquote organic stuff out there is terrible for you. So how do we determine what is healthy? You got to understand that the things that are closest to nature are going to be your best bet. Now, this is not going to be a video on nutrition, but what I will say is that you want to get as close to nature as humanly possible. If you're looking down at your plate, you need to be able to see one ingredient. That is brown rice, that is vegetables, that is beef, that is pork, that is chicken, that is butter, that, like, whatever that one ingredient is, you know exactly what it is, because there's not a whole lot in there. That is the easiest way to start to clean up your diet and start to get you to a better place. I will say that the most optimum diet that I've been able to find is like an elimination diet, which is a carnivore diet. Now, I'm not saying that you all have to become carnivores and just eat meat, butter, and fat like I do, although it's amazing. But what I am saying is that you have to find what works best for you. When I was still having carbohydrates that were slightly refined, tortillas, breads, you know, things like that, rice cakes, all those sort of things, I was still getting super drained, tired, and grouchy, and feeling bouts of depression. But when I removed those from my diet, I started to realize that, wow, I'm feeling awesome. I'm feeling energized. I am feeling not depressed. I'm feeling actually very optimistic about life. And so I found something that works for me. So you got to find something that works best for you. Start looking into nutrition today. Start looking at the very thing that you are putting in your mouth, because it could be messing this up, and it's definitely messing all of this up. Number 2 was the lack of exercise, the lack of movement. Now, I used to think that this was just something that, you know, fit gym rats kind of used to say. But the more of a quote unquote gym rat that I became, I realized that it was just more than just the actual aesthetics of the game, more than biceps and triceps and traps and all these sort of things. It was more than that. The more I realized that when I worked out, I felt amazing. The chemicals that were being released were absolutely phenomenal. The dopamine that I was getting from it was just like nothing that I had experienced before. I'm talking about my life felt like it was on a completely different level because of the fact that I started to lose weight and feel better and lighter on my toes. It's like you gain a different confidence that you never really had before because you are doing something that you've never done before. You were achieving a goal that you've never achieved before, and you feel better about your body. I can guarantee you that the way that I feel now, as opposed to what I was feeling when I was 70 pounds overweight, those are two very different feelings. And because those are two very different feelings, I'm having a different human experience. And when I'm having a different human experience, I'm only thinking from the distraught, the destructive, the depressed, the stressed, the anxious, that thought process. But when I came over here and I started to lose weight and I started to feel great and I started to get moving and I started to have these achievements over here, I was looking at life now from a different perspective. You're looking from a different set of eyes. I challenge you right now to get in the best shape of your life over the next 90, 120, 140, 160, 360, whatever it takes, the next amount of days to get yourself in the best shape of your life. And I guarantee you it's going to pull you from that stuck place that you're feeling like you're in right now. Number 3 was mindset. Now, this one might be an obvious one, but let me explain what I mean by that. You know, before I started getting into personal development and self-help books and all these sort of things, and kind of like what you're watching this video for, I never really used to monitor what I was listening to or what I was accepting or digesting into my mind. I was listening to a lot of hip hop music. I was listening to a lot of contemporary music, and that was pretty much it. And then I was listening to like people who I worked with, who were complaining about life, about their wives or their husbands, their situations, their rent, their like whatever that thing that they were dealing with at the time. And I used to just consume that all the time. When I started to get into personal development, I started to read certain books that started to show me that those things were actually poisonous for my brain. They were poisonous for my mindset. Like birds of the same feather flock together. And I turned around and I looked at all my friends, and a lot of them were negative. A lot of them had chips on their shoulders. A lot of them were just wanted to just kind of stay in the same routine that they had for decades. And I didn't want that for my life, so I had to get a new circle. I had to read new books. I had to shut off certain conversations. I had to stop having certain friends in my life because of this. Like I literally stopped seeing one of my best friends that I've had since high school because he was such a negative influence in my life. Every time I listened to him, my brain hurt. Like that's how much and how heavy it really was. And so you have to understand that your mindset is going to be the very thing that's going to help you achieve those goals that you want. But your attitude will definitely determine your altitude. And if your attitude is low, and if you're on low vibration, and if you're just putting out low energy, you're going to receive things that are low as well. You're going to achieve low things. You're going to just do the bare minimum and barely get by. This is why it's important to take in a proper mindset, to watch what you're consuming, to watch what it is that you're listening to watch what it is that you're reading, to understand that the YouTube channels and all the different things that you're watching on a daily basis, are they improving? Are they helping? Or is it detrimental? And I'll take it a step further, the places that you spend time with, and I'm talking about work, yes, even the places that you work, are they doing bad and more harm to you than they should be? Are you walking away from there tired, depressed, stressed out, just wanted to leave, just wanted to clock out, just be done with it and just go home and decompress? And by the time you get home to your family, you don't have enough energy for them anyways because of the way that the environment is at work? Is that what you're experiencing? You see, my friend, it comes to everything. I'm talking about doing an entire audit of everything that you're putting in your mind, your body, and your spirit. You have to have a good hold on what you're consuming, on what you're allowing to come in, on what you're allowing to take over your brain, what you're allowing to take over your days, your weeks, and your months. These are the 3 things that I did that absolutely changed my life when I started to tap into them, when I started to really take them seriously, when I started to say, okay, so the things that I'm eating are having a big effect on my attitude, they're having a big effect on my depression, they're having a big effect on the way that I feel my energy. The way that I move or the lack of movement that I'm having is not doing me any service. So I need to get moving. I need to start burning some calories, releasing some positive endorphins, and then complementing that with some personal development on the daily, making sure that I am keeping track of all the things that I am consuming, keeping track of all the things that I'm allowing to be in my brain and in my heart. I'm looking around at my friends and I'm saying, okay, Does this person serve a real purpose in my life? Can I add to their life? Are they adding to mine? Or is it just me just giving to this person, and I'm just listening to all the trash that they have to say? If that is your situation, you need to make an exit to the stage left and just take over your life once again, do the audit, get out of there. So listen, if those things were helpful, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Turn on the notifications, because I'm going to be posting these videos almost daily. And I hope that this video has been of some service to you. I hope that you can take this information and start to look into different things that you can do to change up your diet, to change up your workouts, to change up your mindset. Those 3 things, I promise you, are keeping you stuck right now. When you begin to change those things, your life will begin to excel in ways you can't even imagine. This is Cesar Hernandez, aka Coach C, reminding you to always, always, always evolve as a man.